It just all turned bad for the next 10 hours. The weather windows are lining up and it's looking better for us to leave now.
End of the season. I can't believe it's already over.
Are we moving to the boat park? We are on the move and got the engine off, sails are out, reef down on the front head sail. We're between 15 and 20 knots of wind, doing 7 knots of boat speed. I even hit 8 knots just a little while ago, so the Gemini is really coming alive. I'm close to shore, so there's not much fetch. The waves are pretty small and manageable, and it's between a 9. This day's been pretty brutal. It started out so strong. Got some amazing sailing in with some high speeds, and then it just all turned bad for the next 10 hours. So I've been at the helm, haven't filmed anything, hands on the wheel, and we're still hand steering. So I just had weather on the nose, big waves, a lot of weather just straight at us. The forecast I was thinking was gonna go west. I tried to make a few decisions that turned it out to be a little, bad in hindsight, and just battled it today. But wind's calming down. We're 12 hours in. We've got an hour and a half to go. We're chasing the sun now. We should drop the hook right before it gets dark is my hope, because we've never been here and I don't like anchoring in a place I've never been in the dark. So we're almost there. This is one of those just head down quiet moments, power through today, because it's just one of those days that had to get done. Shore, and it's a spot that the coyotes are known to actually run on the beach, but we haven't seen any yet. I didn't see any from the drone this morning, and we didn't hear any last night, but that'd be so cool to see coyotes running on the sand next to the ocean. It's a beautiful little beach. Well, in a slight turn of events, we are taking off about a day early. The weather windows are lining up and it's looking better for us to leave now to cross to Penasco. It's a little bit farther than we wanted, but either way, it doesn't matter that much because the weather's gonna be at our back. Should be smooth sailing out there, and we're ready to finish the little last leg of this whole season and get the boat hauled out. Start the summer adventure and make sure we're not in hurricane season out here. Beautiful sunrise, flat seas. We're gonna get the engine fired up and get going. Should have some downwind sailing too today. So far it is a flat lake out here. We're just smoothly motoring, nice and calm, and the wind's supposed to pick up at our back later this afternoon. Can't complain when it's this flat out. And if the wind picks up, put the sails up for sure. Well, this is the last full day of the season that we're gonna go through. We'll go through tonight and then into tomorrow morning on this passage, but it's really calm and I just get to sit here and reflect on the season that we've had. And it's been pretty hectic, tiring, but we accomplished a lot this year, and that's something I'm proud of. But as I sit here in the seat, I look out and the boat kind of frames this little window, and it's almost like my TV screen. It tends to frame the landscape perfectly, that it just reminds me of this giant view that I have, like I'm outside of the reality that I'm sitting in. I get to watch it like I'm sitting on a couch. watching TV. Sometimes it's stormy and crazy out there. Sometimes it's calm and peaceful like today. But I don't know, there's something about this boat and where I tend to sit most of the time while I'm at the captain's chair. It reminds me of like looking at a picture or a TV screen, and I really enjoy it. It's pretty crazy out here right now. Because we're up in the north end of the Sea of Cortez, they have huge tidal swings. Where we're headed is about 20 to 25 foot tidal swings. But with that comes current. And we timed it today where there's 0 wind right now. It's actually 8 knots, but we're doing 8 knots. So from behind, you know, and so it's zeroed itself out. Super flat. The bottom of the boat is super clean. So we're as fast as we can possibly be. I've got the engine on, but at an RPM, we would usually be doing like 5 knots, and we're doing almost 8 knots. So we're riding this current north, and the wind is slightly at our back. So it just is kind of gliding across the water, pushing us along. And we should have this for quite some time. We're doing some killer speed. It's just free. The current and wind are just free. So we're riding it today. The significance of doing 2 extra knots or 3 knots, you know, boat speed, 2 miles per hour, let's say. When we're doing a trip like this, we're doing 180 miles, which at 5 knots of boat speed would be 36 hours. If we maintain this speed or 2 knots above, you know, 5 knots, that's more like 29, 30 hours. So if we do those 2 extra knots of boat speed using current and wind, that's 6 free hours, and that's absolutely amazing. I will be very happy if we can maintain this throughout the whole night, which if it saves us that much time, that will be amazing. Some friends let us borrow this spinnaker, but it's way too big for this boat. And there's not quite enough wind to lift it up and see if it works or not. But I wanted to try to lift it, never done it before, never done it on this boat, so it'd be so cool if it worked. Sun's about to set on the first day. We're 13-ish hours in, and we got quite a bit to go. So gonna be pushing through the whole night. Moon comes up about 11 p.m. So it's gonna be dark for a few hours before the moonrise. When that moon comes up, it always feels so much better being out here by yourself, and it feels like you can actually see something. But we'll have the moonlight until the sun comes up, and then sometime early morning we'll be there.
We are about to pull into our last spot, end of the season. I can't believe it's already over. It's been a long, wild 6 months. Started out pretty rough, but we're pulling into Puerto Penasco. We're gonna haul out here for hurricane season and then see when we come back next year to bring it out. It always feels a little bit weird to know you're about to leave your home, leave the boat, leave the water, and yeah, so feeling all the nerves for the haul out. I'm sure it'll go great. Hopefully we have a better experience here in Puerto Penasco. And yeah, just a couple days and we fly home and we're out of here.
Well, it's haul out time. We are going to be moving the boat over to the haul out yard and getting it lifted up out of the water and set down on the dirt for hurricane season so that the boat's nice and safe. Are we moving to the boat park to hang out with its friends?
So confusing.
That is a wrap on our sailing season for 2024. It is now getting into hurricane season. We've got the boat out of the water. It's gonna be nice and safe for the whole summer. And I've got the van all packed up with pretty much everything that we own. We're gonna go spend the summer doing something else. I bet some of you might be curious what we're up to, and it's kind of exciting, and I'll just have to show you. We bought our first house. After living on the boat for 6 years, we felt like it was finally time to get a home base. We still have the boat in Mexico, but we wanted a place where we can relax, recharge, and have a jumping off point for a lot of adventures. If you guys have been following us for a long time, then you know we started in our Jeep and our off-road trailer with our rooftop tent. We also built out my work cargo van into kind of a weekend warrior van life scenario. And we have used that for many adventures as well, especially since Skylar's been born. So we want to do a lot more adventuring, not just sailing, but a whole variety of things that we can go and do. And we felt like Central Oregon was the perfect place to do that with all of its outdoor activities. And it just makes a really good starting point to hit the road or jump on an airplane and do all kinds of different adventures. We are the Davidsons, and we called the channel the Adventuresons because we like to do a variety of things. Sailing has just been what we've been doing for the last 6 years, and especially the last 3 years since Skylar's been born. But we have so much more that we want to do with our life and with Skylar's childhood. So this is gonna be our home base in Oregon. So stay tuned to the channel. There's gonna be a lot more adventures, and we appreciate everyone who's been watching the last 6 years and especially the last 2 years sailing in Mexico. There's a lot more adventures to come.